Alright guys, welcome back again. This is the next class where we'll continue with where we left yesterday. Yesterday we talked about making use of your domain and ensuring that your domain has a very short, you know, words. Your domain should be very short. So like this one, I talked about. I make reference to with this one. In case you want to choose your domain, you can make use of you know, a short name. All right. So the main domain I wanted to make use of is laundry. All right, because I was making instance with if you want to build a website with a website on laundry business. Okay, so since the laundry was taken, I now inserted my laundry and checked it on Whois, and unfortunately it was also taken. So I also tried making use of my laundries, but it was also taken. So I now use this my laundries and I checked it on on Whois, which is the website that helps you to check if your domain have been taken. Alright. So when I made my investigation there, it was already taken. So I have to make use of my laundries, that is making use of the Z. Alright. Okay, let me just quickly show you again. mylaundries.com. Okay, as you can see from this, you see that mylaundries.com. Wow. Okay, wait, I made a mistake. My laundries, I will put Z at the end. Alright, as you can see, mylaundries.com is available and you can just pay 9.99, almost $10. Alright, which is if it's in naira, I think it's about I think about 4,000 naira or thereabouts. Okay, so with this now, you have your domain. Alright, so this domain is good, it is very short, it is memorable, and it will not confuse maybe your client or any individual you want to drive to your website. Will not confuse them. So having done this, the next place we'll go to is I will now show you where you can. Okay, let me close these tabs. I'll close this one, close this one. Okay, I will leave this one, I will close this one. Now the next thing I talked about yesterday is hosting. I told you about hosting. I told you that hosting is very, very important. In fact, the two most important things in your web designing or your in your website project is your domain name and your hosting. Without your domain name, there is no website, and without hosting, there is also no website. Do you understand? So we have gotten our domain name, which is, in this case, we have gotten my laundries. All right, and I told you guys that you also need to have your hosting. All right, I told you that one of the websites that provides hosting services is GoDaddy. All right, okay. So apart from GoDaddy, we also have other websites like Namecheap. Right? Namecheap.com. Okay, so Namecheap is one of those websites that you can use to host your website or your website projects. All right, so don't forget. Now the benefit of this Namecheap is that it gives you web hosting at a very, very cheap rate. All right, it gives you web hosting at a very, very cheap rate. Now let me search down my domain name, the laundry one. So I'm going to search for it, and you see what will happen now. You see it, mylaundries.com is available. You see, So the reason why it is available here is because I've already checked it in inside the who is. Remember, who is, I told you before, is a website that actually shows you if a domain is available for sale or if it have already been taken. All right, it will even tell you the when it was taken, the year, the owner, and even the contact. All right, so I now selected my laundries for this reference sake, and I showed you that this my laundries using Z at the end will also make it available for you, right? So now Namecheap actually gives you this domain for about $9 for the whole year. Do you see it? $9 for the whole year. It's very, very wonderful, right? It's very, very easy, very, very wonderful, and in fact, this is amazing. So if you want to host your website, make sure that you search for the cheap domain and hosting providers or in the internet. All right, so I've just shown you two. I showed you Namecheap, I showed you GoDaddy. All right, I showed you GoDaddy, and now I'm not going to waste your time. Like I said before, you can just do your own research about hosting services in the internet. I mean, website hosting services. So there are some website that gives you hosting services that will host your website for you, and you just have to pay them. But in doing this thing, guys, you have to make sure that any site that is hosting your website is very reliable. All right, so I want to use this Namecheap to host my websites. My first website was let me show you my first website before I now migrated to the second one. My first website was FCO Innovations. My current website now is FCO Innovation, but before it was FCO Innovations. That is S. I had S at the end of my domain. Do you understand? So this website actually was hosted in Namecheap. Okay, it was hosted in Namecheap, but along the way, Namecheap started having issues. If I log into to my cPanel, it was not really showing me what I wanted. It was actually stressing me a lot. So I have to migrate from Namecheap. In fact, I had to buy another domain and another hosting. Do you understand? So this is from experience. I'm telling you guys, any website, anytime you want to host your website or you want to buy your domain, make sure that you buy it from a reliable web hosting services. Please make sure that you buy it from a reliable hosting services. All right, don't make mistake of buying it from a cheap one that will just stress you, and at the end you'll not even achieve what you wanted to achieve with your website. All right, so I don't know why this thing is delaying before it will load. Okay, that is by the way. All right, so my website is not working. That is FCO Innovation, but like I told you before, I hosted this FCO Innovations in Namecheap. I hosted it in Namecheap before, but it came to a point that it was not even opening. My cPanel was not opening. All right, so the recommended websites that will provide your reliable hosting services and even domain services is a Nigerian. There's a website that I found, and that is the website I hosted my own with. All right, so I'm going to show you the website, which is Google Hosts. So Google Hosts is the website I built my own on. All right, I hosted my website here, I bought my domain here, I did everything here. All right, so Google Hosts is, for me, I would testify that Google Hosts have never given me problems since then. All right, and the thing about it is that Google Hosts also gives you at a cheap rate. All right, they gives you websites, web hosting and domain services at a very cheap rate. All right, so you guys, if you are ready to buy your domain and hosting, don't hesitate to make use of Google Hosts. I'm not in partnership with them. I don't have any personal relationship with them, but I'm just telling you guys that this website, they will give you what other websites would give you and still maintain your charge at a very cheap rate. All right, so you can host your website. As you can see, WordPress hosting, you can get it at 1,600 naira per month. All right, you see it is very cheap. Can't you see it now? You can get your WordPress hosting at 1,600 naira per month. All right, so but due to this video I'm showing you guys, our main focus is how to build a website. So when you have gotten your web hosting services, you go there. So mine is Bhugohost. So the next thing for you to do is to search for the domain name that you wanted to make use of. All right, search for the domain name, but I will select WordPress hosting first. I'll select WordPress hosting, select it. Now the next thing for you to do is to select purchase WordPress hosting. All right, okay, now look at this. You have to choose a plan. All right, so mine, when I built my new website, I had to calculate a lot of things. All right, so there were three options for me. The first one was the one of 1,600 naira monthly, but the thing there is that it will give me only 10 gigs storage, which means that everything I'm building in my website, all the videos, all the content, all the pictures, everything should not exceed 10 gig. Are you seeing it here? So it has 100 gig monthly bandwidth, and it has 0 additional websites powered by blah blah blah. So now look at this. I now compare it with these two, the one of W standard and the one of W beginner. So this one is 25 gigs storage. Are you seeing the difference now? So here is 100 gig monthly bandwidth, but this one is unlimited monthly bandwidth. So this one is 0 additional websites, and this one is 2 additional websites. Do you see it now? So the one I selected during my own was this one. I selected WP standard. All right, but if you are a beginner and you don't really have much money to go for this one, you can choose W beginner. All right, so this one will be suitable for you if you are a beginner, and just for this sake, you can make use of this one. All right, so it's have opened. Now here is where you can now register your domain. All right, as you can see, choose a domain name. All right, choose a domain name. So I can now put down my domain name, the one I found at Domain Race, which is my laundries. All right, now these guys will now look at this thing. These guys can give you a free domain. That is why I love this website so much. You see why I told you that Bhugohost hosting is one of the best. All right, so if you are selecting .ng, let's forget about that .com I talked about before. But if you don't have money to buy a big or .com extension, you can just make use of this one, because they will give it to you free. Are you seeing it? They will give you free domain registration, but it will apply only at .com.ng. Are you seeing it? So I'm going to select the one that has to do with .com.ng. all right, which means that it is a commercial website that is based in Nigeria. So let me select .com. Wow, okay. Now okay, now look at this. I think okay, .com.ng. As you can see here, now let me check it. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I think this .com.ng is not available for free. But let me just select .ng. and check it out. All right. Wow, it seems like something is wrong here. Let me refresh the site. Okay, let me refresh it. Okay, my laundries. All right, let me check .com.ng. All right, as you can see, congratulations, my laundries.com.ng is available. Are you seeing it? So you only pay this for the starting 1,200 naira. Is it not wonderful? Now the next thing for you to do is to continue. Are you seeing it? Now, due to the value added services, which is VAT and other related issues, so you will now pay 1,600 naira, right? Okay. So now you can now choose at this point. You can now choose when to be making your payment. Remember, this particular hosting is on monthly basis. The one I selected was monthly basis. So if you want to host it on 3 months basis, all right, on quarterly basis, you can select this one. All right. So let me just select monthly basis, for example. So let me select continue. All right, sorry, before you select continue, ensure that you put your website details. All right, so your website, your domain name, you can put it here, which is my laundries. All right, then your username, you can just like the username you used to log in, that is this one. All right, you can just use anyone, you can just use admin. All right, then password, you can just use anything. Just let me just type anything. All right, so I just forced this password. It's not a real password. All right, so now site log, these are other external offers. So if you want to add site log security, this particular thing, is just to add external security, additional security to your website to avoid hackers and scammers to penetrate your website through your website dashboard. All right, so this one is another one called code guard website. So if you want to add it, you can add it, but I don't want to add it. I just left it at none. All right, so spam blah blah blah, I don't want it. So I just want to pay only 1,600 naira. All right, okay. All right. I'm sorry, as you can see, the prices are going up. All right, now look at this. The WordPress hosting is 1,600 naira. Are you seeing it here? The WordPress hosting is 1,600 naira per month. Why the domain registration of this one? I think later on they has to include 1,200 naira. All right, so you can just take it. All right, since you are paying almost nothing for this hosting and domain name, so you can just, at this place, you now choose the currency you want to pay with. So if you want to pay with naira, you can pay with your naira promo code. That is if you have one, but I don't think I need it. So once you're okay with this, okay, all right. So at this place, billing details, I'll just fill this thing. So just fill it with your name, Frank, you can just put your email address, You can put your phone number here. All right. Okay, you can now put your address. All right. After putting your address, put your street, your billing address, blah blah blah. Just put all these things. Okay. All right. These are all these things. Just make sure you put it so that your account will be properly, set up. Now, your payment method. Do you want to make use of PayPal? But in this case, I recommend that you make use of your ATM card to make payment. All right. So, all right. After you are done with it, you then click I have read and agreed to the terms and services. Blah blah blah. So after that, you now click on checkout. All right. So when you click on checkout, it will now lead you to another place. So I didn't enter all these things, that is why it is showing me this. But once you click on checkout, it will now lead you to the place you make your payment, either with your ATM card, or you pay through Paystack, or you pay through other payment processor. All right. Okay, so that is it about hosting. Now, before I end this video, when you are going about your hosting and domain, purchase, ensure that the website you are buying those things from is number one. Remember that they are reliable. That means make sure that you review the site. Just click on that name. For example, this Google Host website. This is a website, domain and hosting service provider. I can go to Google and search for Google Host review 2021. So going to this place, you now see other website that what they are saying about this website. Okay, so if I click here, I will now see what people are saying about if this website is reliable, if it is going to if it is going to stop in the future, or if it is going to frustrate you, or if it is going to provide an excellent result. All right, so make sure that you do your research before you purchase your domain and hosting from any website. But like I said before, I am okay with Google Host because I have used it and I'm still using it and it is working perfectly well. All right. Okay, so that is it for now. So thank you for your time, and in the next video we are going to proceed from where we stopped. All right, thank you.